Welcome to the Connected podcast where basketball meets opportunity. I'm your host, Brianna Bull, and in each episode, we'll tap in with players, coaches, scouts, and leaders who are creating real impact across the country through the Connect Basketball Leagues. This isn't just about what's happening on the court, it's about the journeys, the insight, and the doors being open for the next generation. So whether you're a player, a coach, or someone who loves the game, you're in the right place. So it's time to lock in and stay connected. Basketball has been a major part of my life. I always say that basketball taught me how to love. And so I've been around the game since AAU, and then I did high school, college, and then now I'm coaching. And so I've seen the game from multiple angles, and not just as a player, but as someone who understands what it takes to grow, find your place, and navigate the world of hoops. And that's why I'm excited to be hosting the Connected podcast, because it's not just about basketball. It is about opportunity. It's about creating spaces and being a part of the Connect League community to take yourself to that next level. Basketball is more than just a sport. It's a platform. And so with that, let's get right into what brings us here today. I wanted to bring in someone who's been instrumental in building the Connect League. And so I'm joined here by Cameron Jackson, the founder of the Connect League Basketball. Cameron spent years around the game developing programs, players, coaches, building platforms for people and help them grow their brand for basketball. So Cameron, tell us about your background and why you started the Connect League.
Thank you, first of all. I'm excited about the Connected podcast. We've came a long way to get to this point. Excited to be working with you and be able to highlight the players and programs and coaches and the adults and most importantly, the kids that's a part of our Connect Basketball League. So this is a great opportunity to add that exposure and have some language around the kids and highlight them. So a little bit about me. I've been around basketball my whole life. Played high school, college, coached high school, college, and now I'm able to give back in the form of a platform which is the Connect Basketball League that we're excited to say that's a national program this year with tournaments from Seaside, Oregon to Orlando, Florida to Vermont, Johnson, Vermont, and Dallas, Rockwall, Texas, and everywhere in between. So we're excited to be a national program, and we got a great team, great staff that's behind us, a great scouting team that's going to help provide exposure. And, of course, we are the official grassroots partner of EP.1, which we've been with them since 2016. So that's not a new relationship between us, but they're giving us of course, the gear and those type things to really catapult our brand and our league. And also, working with Antonio and the scouts part of it to really catapult and push our kids and push our kids into a network that they've never seen before. So a lot of great things that's happening this year, and I'm can't wait to get excited. I'm excited. Can't wait to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. 2026 seems like it's gonna be that explosion or that kickoff into something great. And although 2026 is going to be a great year, I wanted to kind of bring it back slightly. And I wanted to know, when did you realize that you wanted to build something of your own? Because you mentioned you played when you were younger. At what point did you say, hey, I want to build something and this is what I want to build?
So I've been in the AAU basketball scene. I've been a high school coach that got into the AAU basketball scene. Seen a lot of different, platforms and things of that nature, and felt that there's a need for a different platform that highlights players. So that was the biggest calling, is that there was a need to highlight players and also connect those players to that next level, to the college coach that, there's a lot of college coaches that are looking for that hidden gems. So those are the things. That's one of the main reasons why we wanted to start this, to highlight the kids and connect their college coach and feed the college coaches some really good players to help them on their rosters.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's a need that's forever going to be there in the space. And so it's I wouldn't say it's a niche, but I think you're getting in at a crucial time for these players and exposure, especially where technology is headed. But I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because that technology component will be coming up soon. But I do want to ask for a viewer out there, if they're a player possibly, or even a parent, and they're deciding where to play, what makes your league, what makes Connect League different from other leagues in the nation?
Yeah, well, first off, there's a lot of great leagues that's out there, but what makes us different, what makes us stand out, is that we're going to make sure that we're covering the best players, the kid that's getting 40, 30 points, whatever. But we're also going to make sure that we're covering the kid that is that's doing the right things on the court, doing those intangibles on the court, doing the things that's going to get them on a college roster. So, we're going to cover the top kids. And we're going to cover those kids that's going to make sure that's going to do the little things to make a college roster better. So short and simple, we're covering everybody, and we're going to highlight everybody that comes through that shows potential and that we can help. So that's a big thing, because I know some other folks may cover the top kids. Some other folks say, hey, let's not everybody covers the top kids. Let's cover maybe the lower end. We're covering everybody. So,
right. Everyone's gonna eat.
Right, exactly.
And then I guess one last question to round this segment out was, how has the league grown in ways that you did not expect?
Yeah, so this is our second year running the Connect Basketball League. And last year, we did 3 stops, and we had a great group of teams. And this year we decided, hey, we want to be national. I had programs in California say, hey, we can't get out east, all the time. Let's come out west. We had programs out northeast, so we can't get to the Midwest all the time. So, in collaborating with some of those teams and collaborating with my team that we have, we drew out a plan, intentional plan to be at every spot in the country. I think there's not a spot or a region, a tournament. We have 20 plus tournaments this year where you can't get to in driving distance, within 4 or 5 hours driving distance. So we did that to make our league accessible this year as we scale and we grow. And next year we're going to look to, even grow even more, maybe more bigger events and those type things. But this year we want to make it accessible throughout the country. So we're proud to say and excited to say that we are truly a national circuit this year, not regional, not local, but national.
Wow, that's fantastic, Cam. Really appreciate all the work that you're doing. And that's what makes Connect League special. It's the intention behind it. It's not just about organizing games. It's about creating accessibility for players, exposure for players, and it's happening on a national scale. So as the league continues to grow, reach new regions, and expand its impact, it all starts with the vision behind it. Make sure you subscribe or follow Connect B League on Instagram or Twitter or X. It's dropped at the below on the right-hand corner, drop below. So be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and reach out. Cam is a fantastic resource and point of contact. Well, we appreciate you, Cam. Any thoughts? Any last minute thoughts?
Well, we tip off this weekend in Lexington, Kentucky with our 5th annual Elite 8 tournament this weekend. It's March 21st and 22nd, so not a lot of high school teams will be playing. It's really got eyes on the middle school kids, or those 12 to 14-year-olds that are going to lace it up. So really excited about that event. That's like I said, it's our 5th year. We got, I think, 40 plus teams that's going to be there. I got our scout, TJ Downey, is going to be there scouting the event, got great event operators. So we're going to tip off in my old Kentucky home this weekend, and it's going to tip us off right. And I know next week we'll talk about next weekend we'll be in Cedar City, Utah, and Myrtle Beach South Carolina all at the same
Ooh,
time. So we'll talk more about that. And we got some of our top tier programs, A1CL programs, that will be in those events. So we'll get to that. But excited to tip it off this weekend and at the Elite Eight in my old Kentucky home, Lexington, Kentucky.
absolutely. And again, you can get all of that information on Instagram, the Connect B League. You can also check out hoopsconnect.com to get all the latest on tournaments, sign up, everything you need. And we'll drop links in the description below, of course. All right. Now, we have a special guest here with us. Antonio, founder of the Scoutz App. Connect League has partnered with the Scoutz App, a platform designed to help players gain exposure and connect with coaches and scouts in a more direct way. And we all know about how important visibility is. That is exactly why we're here. But technology is really the focal point in today's society. So it's not just about talent, it's about accessibility. So this partnership is a big step towards bridging that gap, giving players more opportunities to be discovered. So I wanted to introduce Antonio, and for someone who's never heard of Scoutz App, what is it? Tell us about it.
Yeah, first and foremost, thank you for having me, man. I'm super excited to be here. Super excited for the partnership, everything. But Scouts is just a reflection of the problems I had, right? So Scouts is basically like a AI powered sports recruiting platform that connects athletes with the right coaches in seconds, right? It's directly reflected from like my experience. So for me, like I'm from the Delaware, Philadelphia area. I had to send hundreds of cold emails to get my first college scholarship. Ended up playing at a Division II school called Lincoln University. It's the HBCU out of PA. Ended up playing there, but 10 years later from graduating high school, kids are doing the same exact thing, sending emails, relying on other people, word of mouth. So Scouts basically is trying to solve that problem.
Nice. And you said Delaware, did you play? You said
Yeah,
you're
I played
from
college.
Delaware.
hmm Yep.
Okay.
So I played. Yep, very close to Baltimore. So yeah, there we go.
Let's go.
But yeah, I played at Lincoln University. So it's a HBCU out of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
familiar. Nice.
hmm
Um okay, so it seems like you saw a need, especially based on your own experience, and then you went out there and you wanted to help, you created a solution essentially for players that were just like you. So how
Absolutely.
quickly can a player like realistically start getting attention once they're on the app?
Yeah. So it kind of works like this. So an athlete creates a profile. Once they create a profile, a real scout, like a manual scout, gives them a grade, like a rating, 0 to 100. Based on that rating, their GPA, SAT scores, all the information they put in, our technology, AI, basically matches them with the right fit. So it's no more guessing of where you think you could go. We pretty much put you right in front of the coaches that you can actually help and fit their system. So you can realistically get a scholarship, get interest, get a scholarship offer, those types of things realistically the same week you would create a profile. You know what I mean? There's no more guessing. There's no more, oh, maybe I should go here, maybe I should go here. Because in reality, everyone's not going to play Division I basketball. It's getting harder and harder for these guys to get Division I scholarships with the transfer portal. And the portal opens up
Absolutely.
April 15th. So it's going to be even harder for the guys in the live period to get a scholarship because the first thing these coaches are looking for is the transfers. You know what I mean? So we kind
Oh,
of help them
absolutely.
with that.
And honestly, with the whole NCAA rule about you can play overseas and then come back, you could play pro and then potentially
Yeah.
come back,
Yeah.
the case by case scenario. And that's a whole nother bag, but I'm really glad you brought that up because it leads me into my next question. What does a
Mhm.
strong scout's profile actually look like? Any
Oh,
like tips, best practices you have for
yeah,
a viewer
yeah,
out
I
there?
can give you a few tips because guys they've been sending in some janky film. So a good scout's profile has all your information, right? So it has your GPA, you know you're on point with your transcripts. You have your SAT scores for the guys in the 17 under circuit, are taking SAT scores, things like that. You got to add those things. Good film, like you have the opportunity to send as much film as you want, but make quality film, right? I think that's homework for like parents, for athletes. If you guys want to play places, let's make sure your resume is up to date. Like get the good film, let coaches be able to see your game, have full game film available. Those things matter, right? You can't just depend on coach to go get your film. Sometimes the athletes have to be proactive on their recruiting process as well. Like I said, everyone's not a 5-star athlete, you know, playing these places where everything is just given to you. You know, we have to go get it ourselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's your career at the end of the day. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say, man, just setting in the good film. Make sure all your profiles up to date with your GPA and everything, and that's the way coaches can come and find you. And we have the coaches. Trust me, they're looking for guys.
Absolutely. And actually, from a coach or scout perspective, how does scouts make recruiting more efficient?
Yeah, it makes it more efficient because I can just give you an example. For example, we have NYU men's and women's basketball programs on our platform. New York University, they're Division 3. They played in D3 national tournament, NCAA tournament this year. Very good program. Have Division 1 transfers. Very good program. But they had trouble recruiting because they're going to tournaments, but they don't know who can even get into the school because it's NYU, Ivy
Right.
League. You have to have a certain GPA to even get into the school. So those guys use scouts because we put the right people right in front of them. No more guessing. We have the guys who we have who can actually get into the school automatically and that fit their system. So technology helps us do that. We put them right in front of the NYU coaches. So that's just a quick example of how efficient it can be. There's no more sitting in a gym. Basically we can have all the and one connect players on the platform. Coach can see them on the platform and in person. So it's almost like double the visibility for those guys.
Absolutely. And it makes it more convenient and
Mhm.
accessible. And that was the word that Cam used earlier. And so what made this partnership make sense for Connect? And feel free for both of you to speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I chased Cam down. Cam's a busy guy, so I had to chase
Oh,
him down, man.
absolutely.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, man, let's do it. So yeah, I had to chase him down. His for me, I'm outside looking in. I was looking at so many different circuits to partner with, and one the Hoop Connect circuit, just for me, it just stuck out more because they were serving everybody. They weren't just, oh, let me go get these 5-star guys and try to sign them up, but they were serving everybody and they were trying to reach everywhere. So I was like, nah,
Right.
this is the perfect place to, because we're still a new platform. It's a perfect place to just put it out there and partner with them. They look like they're doing their thing, so why not?
And our
Absolutely.
end, my whole thing was, hey, he had a great platform, and I mean, it just made sense to partner with them and explode our exposure for our kids. So it's a just excited the partner, and I was moving around a little bit, so glad we got to connect, and
Uh,
I'm glad I didn't miss the boat because I was about a day away from missing the boat. So,
oh
but no, I
man.
think our kids and our parents and everybody's going to be pleased, and I'm sure the college coaches will be pleased as well. So I think it's so big win-win for both.
Absolutely. And as a parent, what tips or best practices do you have for your child if you sign them up for the Connect League? Then how can that then translate into the Scoutz app for them? Like walk a parent through
I
that and
mean,
what that experience looks like.
for me, we have a parent portal. So like for me, like we have a parent portal so parents can actually be part of the child's recruiting process. What we noticed today, like most of the parents in today's like the generation of kids for the
Mm-hmm.
kids, they want to be part of the kids recruiting process. So I seen like memes and stuff about AAU parents like fighting in the stands. Like they really go hard for their kids. I don't know if you guys seen that. Like the parents nowadays
Yeah.
go really hard for the kids. So whatever it takes for the kids to get recruited, like parents are really trying to jump in on that. Because I remember when I was growing up, it was just me and my mom. My mom was working. Sometimes she could go, sometimes she can't. But the parents nowadays are like they're jumping forth for the kid.
Yeah. I can speak to that too because like I was raised by a single mom, and I would
Hmm.
say a roadblock for us was just education, not being
Yeah,
educated on the process. And my mom did the best she could, but
absolutely.
the politics of it all or the exposure of
Hmm.
it all. And so I definitely would
Yeah,
have loved a resource like Scoutz app and even the Connect League to help me get
yeah,
more
yeah.
access to more
Same.
colleges. Yeah.
Same here. I remember going on visits with my mom, and she was like, we didn't know what to ask. Like, I think we went to school called
Literally.
LIU Brooklyn, and we were like in the office of the coach, like, do we ask? Did we get a scholarship? Like, what do we ask here? Like, I don't even know. But
Exactly. That
yeah.
was the main thing, scholarship. And
Hmm.
you sure she's a good fit? Like
Right.
that was it. So, um, oh, well, that pretty much like wraps up all the questions I had prepared. And great educational moment for any parent player interested in the Connect League or the Scoutz app, or if you are already a part of the Connect League community, make sure you have the Scoutz app downloaded onto your phone. It is crucial and essential, a part of your experience as not only a basketball player, but as an individual who wants to take themselves to the next level after college.
Absolutely.
Any last thoughts from Kim or Antonio, our special guest?
Yeah, I got one. One thing I forgot to mention. For those who are still may want to get into the Connect Basketball League, first off, our league's open. We have over 20 events. You can go check out our website, hoopconnect.com. In our circuit, all you have to do is you sign up, you register. It's open to boys and girls, grades 3 through 12. You play in one regional event that's in your area. And then our finals is in Hamilton, Ohio, at Spooky Nook, beautiful 28-court facility that we'll have. And that will be July 18th and 19th. On July 17th, we'll have our All-Star game, which will be from sixth graders, boys and girls, all the way up to the 11th and 12th graders, which last year was a big hit, had a dunk contest, three-point contest. So again, if there's anybody who's interested, we're keeping it very simple this year. Next year, we're going to have some things going on, be a little different. But this year, super simple. Play in one event that's in your area, then everybody gets invited to the finals. If you win our final championships, then there's of course, the following year we're going to give you some things as far as apparel goes and some other goodies. So big time to join. So hit me up anytime and register on hoopconnect.com.
Awesome. And again, you'll find all this information in the links below in the description, as well as follow our social medias, Connect B League on Instagram and the X platform, and I'll get you information straight to your phone. We appreciate all of you, and as always, stay connected.